King of the Road Productions proudly presents our 1000th episode of the Jim King of the TV show, an unbelievable milestone. Southeast Texas style. In this special half-hour celebration, we'll take a trip down memory lane and look back at highlights from our first 999 episodes with some truly unforgettable moments. Plus, enjoy the Honky Tonk Texas fabulous flashback. And don't miss Jimmy Fortune and Brothers of the Heart, brought to you by Jackson Hill Park and Marina at Lake Sam Rayburn.
Hey everybody, Jimmy Fortune here. Stay tuned for King of the Road. Our music is coming up on his show, and be sure and tune in. Check it out.
King of the Road.
Howdy friends, and welcome to the Jim King of the TV show, your #1 destination for Southeast Texas entertainment. I'm Jim King of the Road, and you're tuned into the best little TV show in Texas. Big news, this is our 1000th episode. When we first launched the show back in 2006, that milestone felt like a far-off dream, but here we are, nearly 20 years later, still rolling strong and loving every mile of the journey. 1,000 shows is a milestone I never imagined reaching, and it wouldn't have been possible without the incredible artists who have joined us along the way, our loyal advertisers, and most importantly, you, our loyal viewers. We've also just cruised past 53,000 Facebook followers, another big win for King of the Road Productions. And don't forget about King's Country Internet Radio, streaming 24/7 from Beaumont, Texas, where real country music lives. From the legends to today's stars, it's all killer, no filler. And now you can enjoy King's classic clips every hour, featuring highlights straight from our viral shorts and reels. In less than 100 years, radio has come a long, long way. We've gone from this to this. Alexa, play King's Country on TuneIn.
King's Country from TuneIn.
And this. Now you can stream us everywhere. Listen anytime on your computer, smartphone, smart speaker, or Bluetooth connected ride via TuneIn, iTunes, Live 365, or at kingscountry.net. And be sure to catch the Jim King of the Radio show at middays, loaded with music, memories, and plenty of fun. So buckle up, friends. It's time to take a look in the rearview mirror at our first 999 episodes, and many more to come down the road.
Hey everybody, Jimmy Fortune here of Brothers of the Heart, and I'm here congratulating Jim King on King of the Road TV show, the 1000th episode. So be sure and tune in, check him out every time you get a chance. You won't regret it.
Thanks, Jimmy. Stay tuned for Jimmy Fortune and Brothers of the Heart later in this milestone episode. Man, how time flies when you're having a royal time. It feels like just yesterday we were celebrating our 500th.
Friends, Romans, countrymen, I'm here not to bury Jim King, but to praise him. And why not? 500 shows, locally produced, locally marketed, and a tremendous success. But Jim will tell you it wasn't easy in the beginning. There were those who felt he didn't have the chutzpah, maybe the wherewithal to do the show. Some suggested Gary Lee Love or Al Caldwell. But fortunately, Jim hung on. And even when the show became so successful in the market, there were others who came forward and said, you know, he's just not a pretty face. Maybe a Bubba Pate.
You're the man.
Possibly a Buddy Johnson could fill that bill. But Jim stuck to his guns, and here we are today, a tremendous success. I'm Jack Piper, and I salute you, Jim King. You've done something that really will stand out, and I hope you do 500 more.
We made it, Jack Piper. Can you believe it's been 500 more episodes since that day nearly 10 years ago in my backyard? Time sure does fly.
Well, we did the 500, and I said, if we can do this one, surely we can do 500 more. But television is kind of a flighty thing. You don't know if you're going to be here, what you'll be doing at a certain time, but you've broken the mold. You've proven that you can do something independently that far few people have ever accomplished, much just tried. And so it's a credit to you, and I want to I'm not saying this because we're on camera or I have to say it. I don't have to say it. I've considered you a friend and a guy who probably has much more talent than people give him credit for. It's not easy to do a weekly television show and make it successful and be an independent. So for whatever it's worth, I'm glad that you consider me part of your team and worthwhile to talk with.
Well, man, we met early on, too, when you moved to Beaumont, man. I've known you for a long time now, and you've done some great work, man. I know all these shows you've done are going to be wonderful archives in the years to come for people to look back on country music and our area, and you've done a good thing.
Thank you, T-Bird. Still to come, we'll zoom off to Nashville for our Jackson Hill Park and Marina Music Clip of the Week featuring Brothers of the Heart.
Hey everybody, Jimmy Fortune here. Stay tuned for King of the Road. Our music is coming up on his show, and be sure and tune in. Check it out.
Plus, we'll roll out the Honky Tonk, Texas fabulous flashback. Up next, the celebration continues for our regional record extending 1,000th episode.
Listen to the music.
The country, bluegrass, and gospel dream team of Jimmy Fortune, Bradley Walker, Mike Rogers, and Ben Isaacs have joined forces again as Brothers of the Heart.
America, America.
Don't miss the beautiful harmonies and memorable lyrics of Brothers of the Heart, October 28th at the Lutcher Theater. Tickets at lutcher.org.
I fell into a burning ring of fire.
Escape to Jackson Hill Park and Marina at Lake Sam Rayburn. Your lakeside paradise awaits. Enjoy premier boating, fishing, and picturesque views. Then unwind in our cozy cabins and savor delicious dishes at our on-site restaurant with full bar. Plus, join us for periodic special concert events where live music brings our community together under the stars. Create unforgettable memories at Jackson Hill Park and Marina. Visit us today and let your adventure begin. Since Tina Bean started 5-Star Feeds in Port Arthur over 24 years ago, it's always been a friendly neighborhood store, kind of like the general store of the good old days.
I think so. I try to be like it used to be. When I was young, going to feed stores and everything, it's, when people come in here, I want them to feel like they're walking into my house, where they feel welcome. So we try to keep it like that.
5-Star Feeds in Port Arthur, Texas. We are celebrating our milestone 1,000th episode and bringing you a look back at more classic clips from our first 999 episodes.
In our case, we bought a home and he visited, but he rented it. And so we stayed in touch and involved with each other, the rest of his life. I have a little history with Beaumont. My parents invested in some oil wells in Beaumont when I was just a teenager, and we knew we were going to get oil rich, but it never happened. I don't know what happened, but I've never forgotten Beaumont. Anyway, good to talk to you, man. Congratulations on your success, and I like your crown. You've earned it.
You ever wear that in a bar anywhere?
Yeah.
Did you ever get in trouble?
No, can you believe I never got my ass kicked?
I can't believe it. If I was to put that on my head and walk in a bar with a cowboy hat on, they'd take me out.
Now that hat, that's kind of your trademark. Did you come up with that? Did you design that hat? Because you're the first person I've seen wear a hat like that.
You know what's funny about this hat, man, is it kind of has, I guess, become a trademark, but it was something that I was just walking around in I think it was a Tractor Supply or something one day, and I just saw it, and it was really cheap. It was like $25, and I just thought it was really cool because I wear a lot of brown in it, and it had some brown in it, and I thought, well, that's kind of cool, so I just bought it.
Well, you started something because there's about 10 guys in there trying to look just like you.
Well, I don't know why they'd want to do that, but
what do you think of this hat?
I think it's your thing, man. I don't think it worked for me, but it's good for you.
Jim King.
Very good.
My Crown Boy hat, I call it.
That's right.
I don't know if it's going to start any trends like you have, but...
I don't know either.
Well, I like your hat. I wanted to compliment you.
I was going to ask you that because you made a comment 10 years ago. That's the last time we met. You meet so many people you don't remember, but I was wearing this hat. It was a different... it was one of the earlier versions.
Earlier versions, yeah.
It's kind of evolved a little bit.
I thought maybe you'd polished it up or something because it's got some whang to it.
some new plastic up there, but
yeah.
I think the comment you made, I don't know if you remember this, it says, I asked you what you thought of it. Tell me what you think of it now.
I like it. What was my comment
You
last?
said, well, I think it looks a little funky.
Should not. That doesn't sound like me.
You said, I think you got to go with the hat or just with the crown, but I don't know about the two together.
Now that makes sense.
Yeah.
But since then I've loosened up a lot.
Yeah.
I'm more open to things.
You've seen it all now.
Yeah, I've seen it all, I tell you.
King of the Road. Here comes this week's Honky Tonk, Texas fabulous flashback.
This house is it was really funky and sort of broken down, and my rent was virtually nothing, so we lived off virtually nothing. I was there for 3 years before I ever got a phone, and the last day I was there, there'd been this air conditioner that was sitting above my bed in my room, and we never even thought to plug it in because it was so busted up looking and stuff. Last day I was there, an old man came by and said, I used to live in this house. This is an old house. Said, yeah, I used to live in this house. Of course, we didn't have air conditioning back then, and I just decided not to even talk to him about that. So I let him walk through, and he walked off. I thought, you know what? I never checked out that air conditioner. So I got a 2x4 and went over there, and I propped that air conditioner up. I went back around my room, and I plugged it in. Boom! It just hummed. It blew out cold as air. It's just like a refrigerator.
And did you suffer before then? Or?
It was hot as hell in that house. I mean, there was no wind a lot of times there in the Brazos Valley, right? I couldn't believe I spent all my time there at College Station, no AC, and I had it right there above my head. So there's the true Aggie joke right there.
King of the Road. That was this week's Honky Tonk, Texas fabulous flashback.
The Texas honky tonk. There's no place like home.
Since 2008, Honky Tonk, Texas and Silsbee, Texas has featured a steady stream of the very best in local, regional, and national touring bands. Pack up your posse and boot scoot over to Honky Tonk, Texas for great concerts, dancing, drinking, and dining. Of course, steak night is every Thursday, and don't forget about the Honky Tonk Grill. Visit them online at facebook.com/honkytonktx and at honkytonktexas.us. Honky Tonk, Texas and Silsbee has been entertaining Southeast Texas since 2008. Where have you been?
We are World Gym. Let's rock.
Listen to the music. Listen to the music. Listen to the music. King of all the time.
Howdy, folks. Jim King of the TV and radio here. I've got special treats for you today. I think it's the first time I've had 4 stellar performers at the same time. It's a super group, Brothers of the Heart. We're talking Jimmy Fortune, Bradley Walker, Mike Rogers, and Ben Isaacs. Hey, guys. Great to see you.
Good to be with you, man.
Hey, buddy.
And you're coming to the Lutcher Theater on the 28th of this month. That's in our neck of the woods, Orange, Texas. And get tickets right now at lutcher.org. We're really excited about this. I've been watching you on YouTube, and I've watched Jimmy's show before because he's on our same station, Strike TV. That's one of the affiliates that we're on. So looking forward to the concert. Tell us what we can look forward to.
Well, we do a lot of different things. We cover, mostly gospel country music, and then we'd also venture into a little bit of the pop field every once in a while. A lot of different genres of music, but we really focus on our God and our country and our family, family-oriented music, and we just enjoy the songs that we grew up with. We went back and we kind of reminisced a little bit and put together some of the songs that really affected us in our lives. And through the years, that's what we've done. We've just put those songs out there, and people really relate to it because we kind of present it a little bit, not pay really close attention to and the songs that we do, so we don't change them too much, but people kind of hear it in a little bit of a fresh way.
That's the famous Jimmy Fortune. Spent 21 years with the Statler brothers. You just filled in one day, I think. You had to audition for that, and they saw your talent and what you could bring to the table, and you spent 21 years with them and penned some pretty major songs, including Elizabeth. I love that song.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I've had a lot of God things in my life, this being one of them as well. But when the Statler Brothers hired me, I filled in for Lou. Lou DeWitt was the tenor singer for the Statler Brothers, who wrote Flowers on the Wall, many of their big hits. And he heard me singing at a local ski resort up in Virginia, and I was the first name out of his mouth when it came time for someone to fill in for him. And it was just temporary at first, but then it turned into a 21-year career with the most awarded act in the history of country music, and I was just very thankful. And I'm really thankful to be a part of this group today. This is a dream come true for me too, being with Brothers of the Heart.
Yeah, you guys got together in 2020 during the pandemic. I guess it was quite a bit different then. Maybe you were isolating and doing Zoom calls and talking to each other about it?
Singing around the house.
Yeah.
We actually did our first video right like 2 weeks before the world shut down.
That's right.
And so we kind of put it together right before COVID happened, and then as luck would have it, that all happened, so we had to kind of get a little bit creative with how we released that first project. But man, it's been, I think I could speak for all of us, it's been pretty amazing to see the response that we've gotten from people all over the country, because we didn't originally, I don't think we intended on going out on the road and playing 10, 15 dates a year like what we've been doing. And it has just been amazing to see people come from all over the country when we go out and play these dates. People drive. We've been playing in Pennsylvania before, and I've heard folks say that they've driven all the way from Seattle, Washington to Pennsylvania to come see us. And things like that are just amazing. It's been a huge blessing, I think. I know I speak for myself when I say that it's just, I could never have imagined what this would turn into. That's true.
Again, that's Jimmy Fortune, Bradley Walker, Mike Rogers, and Ben Isaacs. You can see them live and in person Tuesday, October 28th at the Lutcher Theater. Get your tickets right now at lutcher.org. You guys harmonize incredibly. Did you realize that? You must have just got together and say, hey, we're like the Olympic relay team here. The way we harmonize, you must have just been pinching yourself the first time you got into a studio or to a rehearsal and started singing together. Did you have a big moment where that hit you?
Yeah, take it, Ben. You knew about that.
Go, Ben.
Yeah, so we met at my house, actually right here in this living room, the first time we ever really sang together for any amount of time. Mike and I've produced Bradley's projects and Jimmy's projects over the years. And Mike and I have sang on Mikey's projects, and Mike and I have sang on Bradley's projects, but the four of us had never gotten together as brothers, and just started singing here in my living room, man. And it was just, I got chills the first time we sang together, just hearing the blend. A lot of guys, when you get guys together to sing together, some have vibratos and some don't. We're all straight tones, so that when we stick a note, it just feels like it's just huge. And I love, singing with, these guys and being on stage with them as a continuation of what you were talking about a minute ago. I look at it as more of a, like Jimmy said, it's a God thing. God has given me music in my life to get me through a lot of things, and also to help other people get through a lot of things. Yep. And to be able to have a group of guys to go out with and make the kind of music that we get to make and impact people's lives and see the reaction from the stage of how something that we're doing is taking them to a place that they haven't been in a while, or a comfortable place that makes them smile. To be able to be a part of a band that does that, man, that's the most charging thing for me as a musician. I love it.
Here comes Brothers of the Heart and Ring of Fire. is our Jackson Hill Park and Marina music clip of the week straight from Nashville.
Is a burning thing, and it makes a fiery ring. Bound by wild desire, I fell into a ring of fire. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames went higher, and it burns, 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 the ring of fire, the ring of fire. To a burning ring of fire, I went down, 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 and the flames went higher, and it burns, 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 the ring of fire, the ring of fire. The taste of love is sweet when hearts like ours meet. I fell for you like a child. Oh, but the fire went wild. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames went higher, and it burns, 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 the ring of fire, the ring of fire. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames went higher, and it burns, 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 the ring of fire, the ring of fire. And it burns, 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 the ring of fire, the ring of fire, the ring of fire.
Oh, that's fun. Thank y'all.
Escape to Jackson Hill Park and Marina at Lake Sam Rayburn. Your lakeside paradise awaits. Enjoy premier boating, fishing, and picturesque views. Then unwind in our cozy cabins and savor delicious dishes at our on-site restaurant with full bar. Plus, join us for periodic special concert events where live music brings our community together under the stars. Create unforgettable memories at Jackson Hill Park and Marina. Visit us today and let your adventure begin. Coming up, we'll conclude our gaze in the rearview mirror at our first 999 episodes.
The country, bluegrass, and gospel dream team of Jimmy Fortune, Bradley Walker, Mike Rogers, and Ben Isaacs have joined forces again as Brothers of the Heart.
America, America.
Don't miss the beautiful harmonies and memorable lyrics of Brothers of the Heart, October 28th at the Lutcher Theater. Tickets at lutcher.org.
I fell into a burning ring of fire.
We are celebrating our milestone 1,000th episode and bringing you a look back at more classic clips from our first 999 episodes. Johnny Winter, great to see you back in Beaumont. Welcome home.
Thank you very much.
Has it been a while since you've been in Beaumont?
It's been a couple of years ago. My mother died a few years ago, and Edgar and I came to divide up her jewelry and stuff. We didn't play. That was just a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
We were just here for a couple of hours.
I've been speaking to Edgar Winter over the years several times for my radio show that I used to do, your brother, as well as on our TV show. We've had him a couple of times, but we're really excited about having you here for the first time. And he used to talk about going home to Mom a few years ago with all the airplane models on the hanging from the ceiling still.
Yeah. Edgar and my daddy did the model airplanes. I never did do that, but they were big model airplane enthusiasts.
Great thing you're doing here for your grandson and his memory, Adam. Of course, you were involved with NASCAR for so many years. With the technology today, has it become a safer sport? Because it is a dangerous sport, but has it become safer today?
It's a lot safer from that standpoint. I don't know, racing's any better. The speeds are relevant in a race. It's how close each vehicle runs close to the other. So sometimes we have good races, sometimes we don't, but that's always been that way. But the big changes in NASCAR since we come along 1949, 1950 when it started is the technology there. And so almost like space capsules now, they get in them. And they're not 100% safe, nothing ever will be, but they're 50% safer than it was when I drove.
And they're faster than ever now.
Oh yeah, they keep picking that speed up, and every once in a while we just have to go in and slow them down so that they don't go so fast.
It's great to have real royalty on the show instead of just me, you know.
Well, you're king enough indeed, for you've been doing this many years.
I know,
now.
and I'm a little bit starstruck right now with these two.
Oh, stop.
I really am. No.
He's been interviewing us for so long, and we've been sharing the word of the festival.
Yeah.
Mark, I know this is a thrill for you because George is your hero.
That's right. Greatest. I'm nervous. I'm scared to death right now. I've been on this show about 5 or 6 times, and I just about started getting comfortable with it, about all these cameras and things, and then I have to sing in front of George Jones.
Well, you're doing a good job, son.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, George has always been my main inspiration, I guess, because my daddy grew up here in Beaumont, and George spent a lot of time here, living here. And back in the 50s, Daddy and George were buddies. They were hanging around together and running the beer joints around here. And so I've always been fascinated with George Jones. And I met him back in the 80s. I was with a band that happened to play a fundraiser for Sheriff Mike Holtzaffel over in Hardin County. I think George had gotten in some trouble down there, and that was part of his deal. He had to go play a free show for the sheriff, and I opened up that night. That's when I first met him, and he remembered my daddy, and we talked. And after that, I did several shows opening up at Jones Country when he had that, and we've been friends ever since.
How about Tracy Lawrence? Look at who showed up.